Hello everyone and welcome back to Farm Simulator 22. We're back here on No Man's Land with Grober Games. We are finally in the month of October and as you can tell as we walk out the front door, our beans are finally ready to go. So we're going to get to work on that this morning right away. We'll get the old 6600 fired up and I think we'll start on the backfields because I think we're in a position right now where we're going to be where the rest of our bales are ready for our mini biogas plant to sell. And I might stop to pick up today our slurry tanker, so that way we can kind of start fertilizing our fields here. But we're gonna at least get the headlands done. We haven't even taken time to get the combine filled up or everything fixed up to tip-top shape, so let's get that all done here quick this morning as well. Excuse me. Having a hard time clearing my throat right now. So we'll pull this into the shop here. And get everything fixed on the header and the combine. This barely fits. So let's see, let's repair that and that. And we'll have to top off with fuel as well. We'll have a pretty busy month this October. I decided that officially we're gonna turn off the stones now. Since the harvest season's on us, I'm gonna officially turn off the stones. Field stones. And that's how we're gonna proceed going forward with the series. No more field stones to deal with. The other thing I was thinking about doing today is I'm gonna wait another season before we try the precision DLC on this. So not this at the end of next harvest, I think we'll be instating the precision DLC because I think by that point I should have more than enough experience with it that I should feel comfortable running it in this series. I haven't messed with it much in my Elm Creek series. It's still kind of in the middle of the process type thing on there, so rolling on the beans here. And this year we got two extra fields to harvest, so it might take us a little bit longer to get through the harvest session, especially with corn. But I think the plan is kind of for today is that after I get all these headlands done, I'm gonna let the helper take over. We're just gonna continue through this field and get it done as well. I'm gonna let the helper take over, and I'm gonna go to our mini BGA and get. Oh, what happened there? Accidentally bumped the detachment button. Never had that happen before. So we're gonna go to the mini BGA, get the rest of our bales thrown in that. And we spent some of our money. I don't know if you noticed as we were up in the yard. I did get our duals bought for our 9195 white, so that's ready to roll. And the one thing I think next season we're gonna plant some oats next season to get our straw so that way we're ready for our dairy when we decide to put it up next year. And I think that little field I plowed under last episode is going to be where we're going to put the straw. And then that way, when that's done, we'll go in there and drill us some grass into that field, because where I'm planning to put the dairy is right up by the house there and like across kind of where our grass field is right now. I think that's going to be the perfect spot for it. That way it's close to the farm yet and close to the yard. And as for the beef cattle, I think we're going to still keep just feeding them straight hay, even though I'm planning to get capabilities to start mixing TMR for our barn. But the little machine that we're going to be using to put the TMR ration in is going to be kind of a pain to run it all the way up here. But getting a TMR mixer for beef cattle over here is on my list of things to buy. But I think just for another season, we'll be running them on hay. And that one of the next few minor purchases is going to be a livestock trailer for the beef cattle. And then there's a modded bale storage barn I messed with a little bit the other day, and I was having some issues with it. I'm gonna mess with it a little more, but I would like to pick it up to use for storage for all our hay. It's a kind of like an automatic storage type thing, so I wouldn't have to waste as much time stacking them nice and neatly like I have in our sheds right now. So that's also on my list of purchases. So we got, and the other thing I'm almost desperate to do now is that I really want to upgrade our round baler to something bigger, whether it be a big square baler or a round baler that can make bigger bales, just so we don't have as many bales to pick up as we start to use more hay this season. And that's another thing too that's on my list, is a bigger tedder. So there's a lot of small upgrades I want to get purchased before we get too far along. And it's just going to take a little bit of time. You know, that BGA is going to help bring in some money once we start filling up the silo. And we still got a few other minor purchases to start to get that system all working like how I want. And then we can start, I'll try and think the best way to put it. We'll be able to start finishing up that area to the image of how I want it to be. I just wanted to get the BGA up so we can start getting power to the farm. And then I figure we could finish up putting up the walls and all the other buildings and knickknacks I want to put in there as well. So, like I said, the plan for today is we're gonna get all these beans combined. We might actually go to town and pick up a slurry tanker and start applying slurry to the bean fields. Or not slurry, well, digestate slurry. It's all the same, but it also isn't the same, if that makes sense. So we'll be picking up a slurry tanker, and I think I decided I'm going to go with the high spec one, and might get that. I'm more leaning towards that one right now with the Amazon disc harrow. So that way we can disc our, as we can inject the digestate into the ground and incorporate it all in one setting. So that's the one I'm kind of leaning towards too right now. Even though we don't have much digestate, but I think we'll have enough to get a good portion of our fields fertilized this fall, and then we'll also work on getting the fields off their first round of fertilizer. So that'll be on the next other list of things to do. So we'll jump into time lapse here, and we'll see you guys at the end of this all.
inside your chest that calls on you to cry. You decided it was time for him to fly out of the darkness and into the light, higher and higher out of sight. The whisper inside your heart tells you let go. Time to leave the past, you did what you knew. Slow down and rest, you've been through a war. No one can hurt you anymore. Behind closed eyes, memories unfold, hidden secrets, shimmering gold. Behind closed eyes, where the shadows play, there's no looking the other way. Behind closed eyes. There's a song inside your soul waiting to be heard. Sing it aloud, you've written every word. Oh, out of the silence and into the unknown. Louder, louder, let go. Behind closed eyes, memories unfold, hidden secrets, shimmering gold. Behind closed eyes, where the shadows play, there's no looking the other way. Just let the music play. Oh, let it play. Behind closed eyes, memories unfold, hidden secrets, and shimmering gold. Behind closed eyes, where the shadows play, there's no looking the other way. Just let the music play. Behind closed eyes, behind closed eyes, behind closed eyes, where the shadows play, there's no looking the other way. Blackbird inside your chest calls on you to cry. You decided it was time for him to fly. Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright, 'cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong, 'cause it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me want you here with me. Am I out of my mind? Or is this how it should be? You made me sing about love. So just tell me if I'm wrong. But it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Yeah! Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you.
Alright, everyone, we're gonna start wrapping it up here. I was having some issues with that tanker, bringing it back and just trying to get it loaded, so I ended up selling it. It's gonna be something I have to do in my off time experiment with. So unfortunately, we didn't get as much as we wanted done today. We might be pushing into the month of December because I noticed the one fields are needed to be lime already again as well. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about tanker options. I really would like one I can incorporate with, but with the money situation now, since having to resell and such, I don't know if we'll be able to get one like that. We might just have to get a top spread one, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to mess with it a little bit. Like when I was trying it before, it wouldn't open the lid, but when I got to the shop and tried it again, it opened it, but it only opened it because I was on the application tool itself. So it was being a little weird. It was one of those mods I downloaded, and I know that the place I got it from was very credible, so I just assumed it was gonna work. But that's what I get for assuming. But it's not the biggest issue in the world. Like I said, we'll get it figured out here in between episodes here, and then we'll have some time next month. And worst case scenario, we'll have some things to do this December. Like I said, we got liming to do for a few fields. Like we got our new one that I kind of spaced off that we got a lime yet, and then we got our few little ones up over here when we first started to lime. But we finally are finishing up our bean harvest. Our corn harvest is going to take quite a bit of time, I feel like, especially since we got two fairly good sized fields here to do. So we might have to space those out as well, or I might have to start thinking about just adjusting the collision. Kind of weird there. That's fine, we'll make this work. Back to what I was saying, we might have to next season increase the days per month type thing, or either slow down the game speed, or what's the other thing we could do? Get everything started here. Why aren't you? There we go. Hey, why can't I get you started? Looks like it shifted a little. There we go. And is that everything? Okay, it is already all emptied out, so let's close that up. 33,000 liters of beans this year. That ain't too bad. Especially since I think we're probably 12 to 13,000 less compared to last year. But you know, we got our... Oh, you know what? I see the issue. Yep, that would cause it. And the combine kind of shifts a little bit. But that's fine. But like I said, we'll call it a day here. We're gonna try to get that whole tanker thing figured out in between time. We'll get this platform dropped off into the shed for now. But we've put this little combine through quite the ringer already. I'm thinking. I also noticed when I was scrolling through the menus, we had another opportunity to buy the same use case combine again, but I just don't think we really need it yet. We might need one next season, depending if we buy another piece of ground, but I think next season's going to be more or less us investing more into our infrastructure. Like I keep saying, we're going to put up more sheds. We're going to invest more into livestock now. And a few other things, getting equipment upgraded so we can handle more of our ground as we get to that point. Actually, why did I turn that off? We'll get this set up right away before before we call it a day as well, or before the next day, so that way we're just ready to roll when we get up to harvest corn. But if you guys enjoyed the video today, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe so you can stay up to date to the latest series. Above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. And most of all, thanks for watching.